Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's not put the carriage before the horse. Let's first liberate our country, then we'll talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear compatriots, it is indeed a pleasure to return to my alma mater, the University of Southern California, to deliver tonight's lecture. I wish, of course, to thank first and foremost the Dean of USC, Dr. Andrew Guzman, the Director of the Kerdend Center, Stephen Ross, and the Levy family for hosting this important series and for their commitment to fostering dialogue about freedom, democracy, and the future of Iran. USC was a place that helped shape my outlook on the world and deepened my belief in freedom and democracy. To stand here again in Los Angeles, the beating heart of the Iranian diaspora, it is to be reminded that our struggle is not distant, but alive in the very community gathered here tonight. I return not simply as an alumnus, but to speak with you as partners in the mission of Iran's liberation and renewal. Over the years, I have spoken of a strategy to guide us from dictatorship to democracy. It rests on 5 interconnected pillars. 1, maximum pressure on the Islamic Republic. 2, maximum support for the Iranian people. 3, maximum defections from within the regime. 4, maximum mobilization of activists inside and abroad. And 5, a detailed plan for Iran's renewal after the fall of this regime, which we call the Iran Prosperity Project, or IPP. These are not isolated steps, but parts of a single effort. Pressure isolates the regime, support strengthens the people, defections accelerates its collapse, mobilization creates momentum, and planning ensures that victory gives rise to a stable and prosperous Iran. It ensures that Iran's story will not end in exile. It will be written anew by her own children. Here in Los Angeles, at the center of the Iranian diaspora, I want to reflect in particular on 2 of these pillars: the power of mobilization and the promise of the Iran Prosperity Project. This summer in Munich, we witnessed a milestone in our struggle. Hundreds of activists and opposition figures and organizations representing Iran's political, cultural, and religious diversity came together under one roof. For the first time in decades, voices too often kept apart spoke with one another, and more importantly, spoke as one to the world. Iran's future will be built together. Munich was the day we stopped asking if unity was possible and proved that it was. It demonstrated that Iran's democratic opposition is not only willing but able to work effectively, collectively, to plan strategically, and to move beyond words into coordinated action. What was once considered impossible became visible, and it must now become irreversible. I extend my hand again tonight to all who embrace this challenge and invite them to join us. Munich transformed conviction into coordinated action. The Iran Prosperity Project answers the question of what we do when victory is won. It is the answer to all those, including many of you here tonight, who have long asked, is there a plan? When I first spoke of the Iran Prosperity Project, it was a commitment that we would not arrive at the day of freedom unprepared. Today, it has grown from the aspiration for something better into the architecture of Iran's bright future. The framework is being built piece by piece so that when the time comes, Iran can move swiftly from collapse to renewal. In May, we convened the first IPP conference, releasing 6 policy papers that provide concrete proposals to rebuild vital institutions, stabilize the economy, and begin national recovery. In July, we published the emergency phase booklet, a roadmap for the critical first 100 days, ensuring basic services, stabilizing the currency, and restoring law and order. And we opened the doors of this project to every Iranian, inviting critique, input, and debate. Thousands responded. For the first time in our modern history, a national blueprint on this scale is being shaped not behind closed doors, but in dialogue with the people themselves. We do this because our task is not to admire the ruins of history, but to lay the foundations of tomorrow. And because the glory of Iran is not behind us, it lies ahead, waiting to be reclaimed. My friends, we are not alone in this vision. In 2023, I went to Israel to rekindle the ancient bonds between the Jewish and Iranian people. After all, we have had ties for more than 2,500 years, dating back to Cyrus the Great. I was warmly received by President Herzog and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and not only other political leaders, but by the Israeli people themselves, including many Iranian Israelis. Together, we took the first steps towards rebuilding the strong partnership between a free Iran and Israel. That mission continues today. Just days ago, my delegation of economic and scientific experts working on IPP returned to Israel. They met with President Herzog. They were hosted by Minister of Science, Innovation and Technology, Gila Gamliel, and engaged Israel's top scientists and engineers on practical solutions to Iran's most pressing crises: water shortages, electricity blackouts, and environmental collapse caused by the regime. It was not just about policy. It was about our people. At the Nova Festival Memorial, they met with the mother of a young woman, Maya, massacred by Hamas on October 7th, and listened to one of the survivors recount the horrific details of that morning. The delegation and Minister Gamliel then planted a tree of life in memory of both the Israeli and Iranian victims of the Islamic Republic and its terrorist proxies. They honored Amir Abbas Hoveyda, Nader Jahanbani, Mahsa Amini, whose life and memory we honor today, but also Yaron, Sarah, and Maya. They declared clearly that while, for now, people's pain is shared, so is our future. This mission advanced what we now call the Cyrus Accords, a framework for peace and cooperation between Israel and a free, democratic, prosperous Iran. The areas of cooperation are real and tangible: water and agricultural technology, energy, health, trade, culture, and tourism. These are the foundations of a partnership that will not wait to be imagined someday, but is being built today. This visit was not just about technical cooperation. It was a statement about the future we envision. Iran post-Islamic Republic will not return to the world as a problem to be managed, but as a partner to be trusted, a nation ready to contribute to peace and prosperity alongside its neighbors. The people do not just want this, they are fighting for it. In Iran, a nation has risen. From the December 2017 protests, the Deimah uprising, to the November 2019 Aban movement, to the protests in the aftermath of Mahsa's murder, the people of Iran have shown their commitment to this national struggle. As a response to their bravery and at their call, I too have stepped forward. Working with my team and a broad coalition of dissidents, activists, and experts, we have accepted the responsibility to lead in this critical chapter of Iran's history. But our challenge is not just to save our nation. It is to build the systems, institutions, and civic ethics that will sustain our freedom for generations to come. As I have often said, we are not here for the quick fix. We are here for the long-term solutions, and those are only possible with broad participation. So today, I am here to ask you to join in this fight, to be a part of this campaign. To the Iranian business leaders here in Los Angeles, this is your call. Begin preparing now. Consider how your companies, your capital, your experience can contribute to rebuilding our country. Ask yourselves, how will you invest in Iran's recovery? How will you help restore her economy, her infrastructure, her industries? The Iran Prosperity Project is not just a blueprint. It is your invitation to plan, to prepare, and to act. Let me speak plainly to our diaspora here in Los Angeles and across the world. Iranians are fighting and dying on the streets of our homeland. Mothers and fathers bury their children. Young men and women risk their lives each day for the chance of freedom. And in those moments, they look outward to our successful diaspora and they ask, are you with us? They look to you and ask, do you want to help or watch the opportunities before us pass us by? The diaspora must decide, are you spectators of Iran's struggle or partners in her liberation? That question must be answered, not tomorrow, now. You are not exiles of a fallen past. Together we are architects of a coming future. I know this community. I know its generosity, its success, its pride. But history will not measure us by nostalgia. It will be measured by our action. The question before us is whether Iran will survive only as nostalgia, memories of music, food, and culture, or whether we will seize this moment to reclaim our country and craft a living legacy for the next generations. Cyrus the Great did not preserve civilization by memory alone. He built, he acted, he wrote history. And to the students here tonight, my fellow Trojans and the youth of this great university, I want to speak directly. In Iran, your peers, Gen Z, have faced down bullets, batons, and prisons. I call them Gen V for victory. They are risking their lives for the future of their country. You too have a role. You are free to organize, to study, to advocate. Use that freedom. Stand with your peers in Iran. Build solidarity networks. Contribute your knowledge, your creativity, your energy. Align the wisdom of this campus with the courage of Iran's youth. Gen V is not a slogan. It is a commitment. And I ask you to join them. Indeed, to an extent, your fight is won, because even here in the West, we are not untouched by the reach of the Islamic Republic. For decades, Tehran has sought to project its propaganda into your universities, your campuses, your public discourse. It funds front groups, nurtured so-called cultural exchange programs, and worked to normalize its narrative. The goal is always the same: to silence dissidents, to confuse the naive, and to weaken solidarity with the Iranian people. But they don't just try to promote themselves or silence opponents. They target others as well. We saw the tragic consequences of this in the wake of October 7th. Anti-Semitism surged on campuses across America, and alongside it came talking points drawn straight from the playbook of the Islamic Republic and its proxies. Let us be clear. This hatred was not spontaneous. It was fomented, encouraged, and amplified by the Islamic regime. When chants glorify violence, when the regime's apologists masquerade as academics, this is not free debate. It is the export of tyranny into the hearts of free institutions. It is also a broader war on free speech and on the very foundations of Western civilization. To the students of USC and other universities, do not be deceived. Iran's youth are being jailed and beaten for demanding freedom, while here the regime spends money to whitewash its crimes, to undermine America's democratic institutions, and to sow division across your society. Resist this manipulation. Stand with your peers in Iran who ask for truth, justice, and solidarity. A university must be a place of free inquiry, not a stage for the propaganda of dictators. But my friends, the Islamic Republic is weak, divided, and vulnerable. The people have withdrawn their support. Its leadership has fractured, and tens of thousands are offering to defect. Its proxies are cornered. The only question is not if it will fall, but when. But I want to be clear that while the regime is weak and vulnerable, it will only finally fall if the Iranian people rise up again. They know the future of Iran is in their hands. My job, with a unified democratic opposition, is to make sure the conditions for success are stacked in their favor. When that day comes, our job is to ensure that Iran does not collapse into chaos, but rises into freedom. Mobilization makes that possible. The Iran Prosperity Project makes it real, and the courage of our people makes it inevitable. Iran's story will not end in tragedy. Together we will write its renaissance. I will not stand on the sideline of history. I intend to shape it. But to win, I need you with me, and our compatriots do as well. So thank you. May God bless the people of Iran, and may freedom soon bless our homeland. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.